Yeah, the sniper turned those Calliopes in from a defensive unit from my standpoint. I mean, I'm a noob, so I don't really know if many other people use them offensively, but it let him use those offensively to really help push back Drop Hack's little blob, which he insisted on keeping blobbing over and over to die in mass numbers.
Okay, let's tally up the kill count from these Calliopes here. We got 36 on the right one, and 19 on the left one.
Wow.
So that means about...
They're boss, dude.
55, I would say. 55 infantry annihilated by these guys.
55?
55. Plus the 35
Boy,
infantry killed by the sniper. By himself.
Where did Sniper end up?
He's right behind the BARs.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Still hiding right by that tree. He was there forever. Oh.
He's very sneaky.
Man.
That was an amazing comeback, because he was getting... I mean, there was that time when the Germans could have had him. But that's all I have to say about
Failed to capitalize. He did a very good job fighting back from that. Very, very good, and from him, from Seth especially, early game, not so much mid game because he was getting kind of pounded, but early game and end game, micro and just saving those squads whenever he could, even if it was just like one guy left with a sliver of health. Very, very well done, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Every time that sniper also, every time he knew it was even a slight risk of losing it, he would pull it back. You don't want to lose that manpower spent on one guy.
And he more than made up for the manpower he spent on that unit. 35 guys, each costing like
Plus
I think
all the
35
assists. The assists on the Calliope attacks definitely by far made up for the cost of it.
Man.
Very good. Economical decision. Economical.
Ugh. So that's it, folks. Any closing thoughts? Maybe one for Drop Hacks to stop being a whiny little bitch.
I wouldn't say whiny little bitch, but honestly, I think if he watched that replay, and he probably did, he would be slapping himself, because just it was close, and he had a spot. Yeah, that too, but just in the middle of the game, he could have won it, and he just kind of let it slip away. A little bit of scouting, a little bit more map awareness, just pushed up a little further, would have helped greatly.
That and a little tweak in his strategy might have helped him a little bit. Or do you think that would have not mattered at that point?
Well, that's kind of what I mean, just tweaking his strategy, pushing up a little bit on the sides, like just one or two squads, just see what he's got. Because I think if he would have seen how few units that Seth actually had, he would have pushed and he would have won. But he didn't. So Seth proceeded to own him in the face.
Indeed, that's what happens when you let the enemy have a laxing time. Allows them to rally. So,
You know, well, no, that's all I got, I guess.
what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Well, the Jagdpanther on the right side from your vision, that I don't know, the little wall outside his base, he might have been able to get through that to get some infantry on the flank.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that earlier. He could have used the Jagdpanther, who has heavy crush, to crush through those barriers on the right and completely bypass all these obstacles.
Well, since he made it, it was so useless anyways, and he just sat there half the time, he should have done that.
Yeah, I mean, he's using an infantry strat with like an anti-tank strat. But the problem is he had no anti-tank, because he couldn't use it. And his infantry were just getting obliterated by artillery, so what could he have done?
Which he would have been able to avoid.
Well, I have one other huge thing to add. I think if they would have not gotten that Jagdpanther's engine damage early, that none of the rape would have happened, because he wouldn't have repaired that slight damage on that Jagdpanther early on. When that's where he lost all those units, because that Jagdpanther had a damaged engine. I think that's the only reason he repaired it. I might be wrong, But if it wouldn't have been damaged engine and he wouldn't have repaired it with all those guys, I think he would have had much fewer losses and probably won a lot easier.
You think Seth called that?
Probably. Because he knew he'd be repairing because of that engine. I mean, that Jagdpanther is useless without the engine. Almost any vehicle is. They're just too slow. They can't escape or attack, for that matter. So that might have just been one little quirk that also gave him the loss, because he wanted to depend on it so much. He was trying to repair it. He didn't need to if it wouldn't have had a damaged engine. But that's just my thought.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And that's Vidcast number 5, folks, or 15, folks. And we'll be seeing you next time for number 16. I will also be continuing the British campaign that I've been doing lately. And well, it's been a fun time, guys. It's nice to have Travis back for once to do one of these. I thought you brought some nice insight at the end of the cast here.
Try.
It comes naturally to him because he's a big fat noob.
It's because I like bitching about things and picking people apart.
Well, that makes you perfect for this. Well, anyway, folks, from Office Space Clan, this is Hellfox signing out. Say goodbye.
Bye. Bye.